Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I'm JJ and this over here is Mr. Jared. Thank you so much for choosing to hop on over and vibe bright with us in our cozy little corner of the internet. Jared and I really appreciate it. And remember, Jared loves you. If you like what you see, make sure you like this video, comment in the comments what's resonating, how you're doing, and subscribe to my channel if you're vibing with me. It will definitely help me out, and Jared and I will be forever grateful, so thank you in advance, and I'm so glad that you're part of this journey with us. Welcome to this week's installment of VibeBright Vlogs. So this week I wanted to talk a little bit about the law of attraction and how that shit actually works. Where to begin? The law of attraction, first and foremost, is like this big thing in the spiritual community, right, Jared? Jared's already over it. And it's real. It's a real thing that happens. It is the law of the universe that you get what you think of, that your thoughts create your reality, getting more of what you get. Abraham Hicks was one of the first entities that I heard law of attraction from, specifically. Also The Secret, if you know The Secret, that movie and book as well, is all about the law of attraction and manifestation. Essentially, it is this law of how our words, our thoughts, our actions, our intentions create our reality. And this is at a fundamental point of spirituality, of the self-actualization process, of totally and completely embodying your soul's purpose, embodying your truth and what you truly want, and being honest with yourself and with others in the world, and bringing your desires to life. And that's all we want as humans. We're all here to be happy. For sharks too. Jared's like, hello, me too, I just want to be happy. But Jared, you see, is happy because he just is. He's just my stuffed shark friend, right? His desires are this. Literally, he's perfectly happy right now. Me as a human, I'm happy, but like I have all these other things going on, as we all do, and we want things. We want things for ourselves. We have these desires, these deep desires. We get off track and misaligned. We start having a not good time when we believe we're not getting what we want, which ultimately is happiness, peace, bliss, contentment, fulfillment of these desires that we have. So the way the law of attraction comes into this is that the law of attraction is always bringing us our desires. However, are we conscious of these desires, or are they unconscious desires? And here is my golden nugget of truth that I have found. The law of attraction does not work with the conscious mind. Give that a minute to sink in. The law of attraction does not work with the conscious mind. The law of attraction works with the unconscious mind. The law of attraction works on this subtle frequency and vibration. It's obviously not something we can see. We don't really know how the hell this shit works. But what we do know is that it's not run by the programming in the front of our mind's eye. It's not something, that's why when we think of something, automatically we're like, oh, a giraffe doesn't appear, you know, like, oh, I wish I had $1 million, someone's knocking on my door with $1 million. If you're a powerful magician, maybe, but you've done a lot of work to get there. You've worked with the unconscious. My main point, there's a lag time, and that lag time is determined by the unconscious. So you can plant all the intentions you want. You can say all the affirmations you want. You can do all your prayers. You can do all that love and light, blah, blah stuff. But if your unconscious is not in alignment with the desires of your conscious mind, you're going to keep getting the things that are in your unconscious. And what's in there is dark, is mysterious. A lot of it is taboo, programmings, those limiting beliefs, what we really hold true, anything that has established our identity, who we are, what we should do, how we should be, what the world should be like, what we should want, what is good and what is bad, lives in the unconscious. It's programs in the unconscious. Those roots, that's how far they go. We're not aware of them. we're not aware of what we're not aware of. Let that sink in. So, by working with the unconscious and making the unconscious conscious, we realize, OMG, wait a minute. I might have a deep, delicious, kinky desire to chase people away, to not make money, to work really hard. But consciously, I'm like, I wish I had better relationships. I wish things were easier for me. I wish I made more money. You see what I'm getting at here? So you can do all the affirmations, you can set all the intentions to do all these great things in your conscious mind, but if the unconscious beliefs and programming of I chase people away and I'm not making enough money are running the show in the background, you're going to keep getting more of that. And so the law of attraction is responding to those unconscious desires, because those are rooted so far deep into our psyches, into our identities, into who we are as people on a vibrational level. And a lot of the time what's attached to our unconscious desires are these beliefs that are running the show in the back of our head, that I'm not good enough, so I have to chase after people. I don't have enough, so I have to work really hard. I am not worthy, so I don't have money. I don't make enough money. And these are all things that live in our shadow, which is a whole other video I'm gonna make. And so we do this shadow work to get down to the bone of it. And once you open up that space and work with the unconscious, you make that unconscious conscious. Shout out our fave Swiss brain boy, Carl Jung. Then the law of attraction starts working for us, and we become active participants. Why? Because we're more aware of that unconscious. We have more space in ourselves and in our lives for the things that we truly want to be rooted in the unconscious as well as in the consciousness. Another thing I want to say about the law of attraction, I just read actually in an Abraham Hicks, I have a little card deck of Abraham Hicks, and it said, catch the misalignment early. The second that you feel yourself dipping into some sort of negative emotion, some sort of thought emotion that you don't want to feel, think of something else. That's a little fishy. Even Jared thinks that shit is a little fishy. And yes, if you don't want to be somewhere emotionally, energetically, mentally, what do you need to do to get out of it? But what do you need to do? Do you need to feel it? Do you need to experience it? Do you need to let it pass? By ignoring it, by bypassing it, that's when things become toxic. And that's when we continue to shove shit into our shadow. And we put all this baggage into our unconscious that we decide to not look at, that we decide to ignore. But what's happening when we're putting that baggage into our unconscious, we're actually going to create more of that nastiness and more of all these things that we don't consciously want into our energetic field and into our unconscious, into our psyches. And so the law of attraction is going to keep responding in the same way. It's going to keep bringing us more of these things that we seemingly don't want. But why? Because we keep ignoring the fact that we need to feel a certain way, that we need to let emotions pass through us, that we want to feel shitty sometimes. And that's kind of a hard pill to swallow. As souls, we've descended, we've incarnated into this physical reality, into this experience, to experience all of it, to experience the good, the bad, and the ugly. Then that's when good and bad kind of gets in the way of creation and of embodiment and of truth. Our limited perspective in this human experience is truly what is defining what is good and what is bad. By doing that, we are limiting our psyches and our level of having and what we end up attracting with the law of attraction. If we only want to attract good things, but we keep attracting unwanted things, then it looks like you have to kind of rework good and bad. You have to kind of rework what you actually want, what you actually don't want. And if you're getting more of what you don't want, what part of you actually wants that? So there's a part of you that wants that, and that's a very tough pill to swallow. And that's part of the human experience. But just like anything else, I've had my terrible, terrible rock bottoms, and I have my traumas, and I have, you know, all these things that have happened that I never thought I would have wanted. Cards that I've been dealt that I'm like, what could be the purpose of this? But at the end of the day, in my own life, speaking for myself, you learn from it. There's that growth period. There's that expansion. There's this service that opens you up through all these seemingly unwanted things. As I'm saying this, I'm even thinking about all the things I don't seem to want that I have right now, and I'm like, well, why? You know, I keep attracting it. And so I'd like to open your mind up to that. It's not easy, and that's where shadow work comes in. I'm gonna make a whole other video discussing shadow work. I'm gonna make a whole other video discussing more in-depth spiritual bypass, because that runs rampant in the spiritual community, even in religions, you know, like spiritually bypassing all this, you know, all these unwanted human aspects and experiences. And it's so easy to demonize all these things that are bad or that are unwanted within ourselves, but by claiming it, by experiencing them, by opening space for them to just be and to feel it and to be there with it and to accept it, to truly radically accept those parts of ourselves, we free ourselves from it. And we create space within ourselves, and then we can start working with the conscious mind. Then you can plant those intentions. Then you can say those affirmations. Then you can do those prayers and spells and rituals and all the moon magic and all these awesome things to move you in that direction. But we have to kind of be aware of what's happening under the surface, behind the scenes, because that's the shit that's running the show. We're not seeing the big picture all the time in our normal daily waking lives. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you. Kind of feels good to get off my chest. Jared's like, yeah, dude, preach. Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking these videos. Thank you for commenting. It really helps me out with the algorithm. Jared and I are trying to figure this shit out, trying to attract some viewers, some subscribers, some followers up in here in this VibeBright community. I have really exciting news. Also, if you're interested at all in working with me in moon circles, I'm creating a community where we gather twice a month under the new moon and the full moon, and we'll have a moon circle where I lead us in meditation. We work with the energy of the moon. I channel messages and affirmations from the moon under her energy. We share our experiences, our intentions, what we want to release. We create some group magic, and then I leave us with an oracle and a card pull. So if you're interested at all, the link to the sign up is in my bio on Instagram. All those links you can find at my channel. I would love to have you sign up for moon circles and stay tuned at the end of the week for your tarot guidance pulls. And then I'll be continuing to post meditations on Thursdays. They were Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's just going to be Thursdays. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Jared and I love you so, so much. Stay tuned for some more content. Follow me on Instagram for more VibeBright content all week long. And we'll see you guys next time. Keep vibing bright out there, fam.